Suhail, the emotions are coming through, and I'm sure viewers who are watching this broadcast can completely relate to what you're feeling and what you're saying. There's so much to talk about the man, Mr. Ratan Tata. You've written an opinion piece today, and you've said that for Tata, it was always about doing the right thing.
I'll give you an example. 2008, Mamata Banerjee, who was in opposition, took it upon herself to throw the Tatas out of Singur, where they were setting up a nano plant. At that point in time, Pranesh, I had said on national television that it's the worst move because I was born and raised in Calcutta. It was a move which was terrible for Bengal. It was terrible for India. It was terrible for industry. But Mamata Banerjee didn't budge. 2008 September, I was having a meal with our current Prime Minister, who was then Chief Minister of Gujarat. And I have to say, look at Narendra Modi's foresight. And he told me as I was leaving, saying, Suhel bhai, kal kahan ja rahe hain? I said, I'm going to Bombay. तो रतन टाटा को आप मैसेज दीजिए कि नैनो यहां ले आए. अब तो वो सिंगूर में नहीं है. So I said, I'll convey the message. And I did convey the message. Narendra Modi's logic was that when the Navsari priests came to India, they landed in Kutch, in Navsari, the coastline. And he says that, look, it'll be a homecoming for Ratan Tata and the Nano. That's how Sanat was created. That's how Ratan Tata did what he had to do. Now let me tell you, why was the Nano created? One day, Mr. Tata was driving, and he normally drove himself. By the way, he always sat in front. If there was a chauffeur, he sat in front with the chauffeur. There was no, Bada Saab sitting at the back. So he saw this family on a scooter, family of four, father, mother, and the two kids held on to the mother. And they were getting drenched. That's when Mr. Tata said, why can't we create a car, which is a lakh of rupees, and give it and sell it for Indians who can afford it? And that's how Nano happened. Mr. Tata was the first person who spoke to Singapore Airlines ages ago. But in India, we had unscrupulous people who lobbied hard. Couldn't Ratan Tata have lobbied? Of course he could have. Ratan Tata at one time was chairman of Indian Airlines, but he didn't. Because that's not him. That's not his moral compass. That never was, it never will be. In fact, during the Singur period, Mr. Tata said, I think it was October 2, 2008, if my memory serves me right, on Gandhiji's birthday, he says, look, I'm that kind of person, you can hold a gun to my head. You either fire or you move, but I'm not going to budge. Even his stubbornness came out of purpose. The reason was because there were too many people who were willing to crawl when asked to walk in our country. And Pranesh, I got married in 2018. 2019, our daughter was born. And 2020, just before the onset of COVID, Mr. Tata said, why don't the three of you, Lakshmi, Gayatri, and you come to Bombay? Now, Mr. Tata was never in the company of children, because, and Gayatri came and he played with her. And, it was almost as if we had entered a grandfather's home. This July 2024, again, Lakshmi, Gayatri, and I spent the afternoon with him. And I still remember, and I have to say, where, he's nudging her with a Kit Kat, she's nudging him. And when I told Gayatri that, do you know who you're with? And she kept saying, Mr. Tata, Mr. Tata. He needn't have. Who are we? Who are you? Who am I? We're no one in the larger scheme of things. But his innate decency, his genuine purposefulness, his genuine love. And I can tell you this, Pranesh, and I'm not trying to, we always say that once a person is gone, we eulogize. It's not about eulogizing, because I know what the man is all about and what he was all about and what he will remain in our hearts and in our minds. Because I'll tell you one thing, much like his predecessors, he has planted the seeds of compassion. He has planted the seeds of philanthropy, not for 10, 20, 30 years. He's planted it for centuries. We are blessed, Pranesh, you and I are blessed that in India we had a man, amongst us who walked with such compassion, with such care, with such love, with such affection. It's not about, Ratan Tata being a Padma Vibhushan. Today I tweeted at 1:06 a.m. saying, "Dear Prime Minister, it's time that India's true Ratan got the Bharat Ratna." And you should have seen the outpouring there. But did Ratan Tata ever lobby for anything? Never. Never. That was his principled way of life. That's why you and I celebrate him. That's why the common man today was queuing up outside the NCPA in order to pay tribute. I was there right through in the morning, and I saw with my own eyes. There were commoners, there were industrialists, there were statesmen, there were police officials, there were ministers. All were in the same queue because that's what Ratan Tata was. There was no VIPism in his life. When we used to go out, suppose we were abroad or, anywhere, and his accompanying staff would sit with us at the same table. And for us now, for me personally, for another one of his very close friends, Melli Mistry, it has become a way of life. We don't think, oh, that's staff and this is this and that is that. So the learnings that one has got from Ratan Tata are exceptional. They are learnings that are anchored in humanity. They are learnings that are anchored in humanism. They are learnings that we all live in this world to do something good. कोई पैसे लेके नहीं जाता, कोई जायदाद लेके नहीं जाता. आपकी जायदाद आपका अमीर है, आपकी जायदाद आपकी मोरालिटी है, आपकी जायदाद आपका पर्पसफुलनेस है. And today, when we celebrate Ratan Tata, we celebrate him because he touched our lives. And he will continue to touch our lives. Those cancer centers will still welcome people who have been afflicted by that dreaded disease. Small animals will still go to that hospital for treatment. The NCPA, for which funds were given, will still be the citadel of culture. That's who he was. Decent, cultured, dignified, and always, always purposeful.